Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brand Groupies podcast, where we speak with inspiring entrepreneurs and brand leaders who are building and rocking their brands. And we're continuing with our backstage series where we talk to the real brand groupies, the groupies behind the brands, the ones who are making the brands shine and stand out. And today, I'm so excited to welcome Jen Berson to the podcast. Welcome, Jen.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. That was an awesome introduction. I feel like pumped up and ready to go.
All right.
Let's do this.
Well, I'll tell everyone a little bit about you. Jen Berson is a formal civil litigator turned strategic communications advisor who champions the PR agency model for ambitious women seeking a satisfying, high-powered career that doesn't require the sacrifice of personal and family time to make a powerful impact. As president and founder of Generation PR, an award-winning public relations and creative studio, her efforts fuel the organic growth and brand recognition of household names across the beauty, baby, and lifestyle sectors and their up-and-coming competition. Her mentorship and direction as founder of the Profitable PR Pros community has led thousands of international boutique PR agency owners to quickly scale their businesses to six figures and beyond. So this is exciting. There is so much I want to ask you about your business, your PR, Profitable PR Pros program and company, and you're doing so many amazing things. So thanks again for being a guest. And
Awesome.
Happy belated, your birthday was yesterday, and mine is
Yes,
today.
yes.
So I just wanted to throw out some Pisces.
What's your birthday? What did you say?
March 12th.
Oh, coming right up.
I know.
Awesome.
So Pisces.
Love the Pisces love.
Pisces love. So Jen, I think it's so fascinating that you started out as a lawyer and now you have a PR agency. So tell us a little bit about how that transpired.
Kind of a total 180, right? But similar to you with the super incredible fashion background, and now you work with architects and air conditioning companies. And kind of a 180. I've been running Generation. I still run my agency full time. I started my firm about 17 years ago. Actually, this month is 17 years, which is crazy to think. But I practiced civil litigation in Los Angeles for about 4 years. And looking back on it, I can say there's like a million reasons how and why I made the transition. But it was, for me, I think at the time, transitioning into like thinking about the next phase of my life, getting married, having kids, and not seeing a role model that was a woman in my agency that was on the path or had become partner and had kids and were there to, pick their kids up from school or take them to soccer practice or become room mom, all those things that I ultimately saw myself doing. And I just knew long-term that wasn't going to be the right path for me. And I grew up with my parents always being home for dinner and being able to take me to all my, art classes and whatnot. And I knew that was the kind of parent I wanted to be. And that just didn't seem like a possibility, at least not in the way that I wanted for myself. So I actually started I'm like, how did I even do it? I started promoting a brand on the side in the beauty space. It was a fragrance company. And I was unpaid, just doing kind of not even pro bono, but just like fun work on the side. I reached out to a company that I loved and was like, why aren't you anywhere in any shops that I shop at all these great stores in LA and like, I wear your fragrance all the time and nobody's ever heard of it. I need to help you. I have all these ideas for where to get your products and how to get it some visibility. And without even knowing what PR was, because I never learned about it in school. My school, I went to UC Santa Barbara. It's like a research institution. So it's all about, it's not about practical, like here's a service you can provide and make money doing it. So I just had an idea for this brand and said, how can I help you? You know, send me a big box of products. And the woman sent them to me, and I started getting them all over the place, getting it to celebrities and then telling the media about it, just kind of tapping my network and reverse engineering media contacts and having some luck with that, which was like, oh, this is fun. And then the big kind of aha moment for me was getting this product into a weekly magazine with a celebrity affiliation. And kind of from start to finish, when I pitched it to the time I was holding this in my hand, was about 3 weeks. And the impact it had on this woman's business was instant, and it was massive. You know, getting retail orders from some of the coolest stores in LA, and getting, sales through the website, the biggest amount of sales that she's ever had. And for me, it was that feeling of something instant and tangible, and knowing it had a positive impact, and it was building up a business. And I really believed in this entrepreneur that was the founder. And I thought, you know, this is so different than the work I do in law, which is expensive, protracted litigation. Let's spend, outspend the other side to try to wear them down. And all you're doing is, dragging things out, and it's not my personality at all. And I thought, this isn't where I see myself long term. And once I realized that this thing that I was doing, I didn't even know what it was called. Once I figured out this is public relations, and that brands actually pay people or agencies to do this as a service for them, then I started researching, how can I make a living doing this? And can I make a living doing this? And, I needed to kind of pay for my life. I had a mortgage payment in Santa Monica, and I wasn't married. And I was like, okay, I better make this happen quickly. So I decided to go on my own and start a firm, and with no training and no contacts and experience, as one does, just kind of like, let's figure this out as we go. I gave myself 6 months, and I had a cushion for that. And I have never looked back. And I just feel so, lucky that I found this path. It's been awesome.
Wow, congratulations. That is so cool, because you feel like, with PR, it was my major, journalism, and I focused on, PR as my major, but then you get into the field, and it just, it takes time to develop those relationships and do that. And the way you did it, it's just like this innate something in you that you had it in you, and it just naturally came out, and you found it, which was so cool. And the immediate results that you found from your PR efforts. And did you have those connections through your job, or through school, or just being in the LA, out and about community?
Yeah, just friends of friends.
Okay.
And then or friends of mine. And it was hard for me to even explain when I reached out what I was looking for, because I wasn't even sure.
Yes. You're
I just like,
so passionate about the product.
yeah, like when you mentioned having like an innate ability, I only have it when I believe in something, and when I see it, and I can say, oh my gosh, there's so much here, which is really helpful when it comes to picking clients for our agency. Because I feel like, I don't love this. Can I make this cool? I don't know. If I don't see it, can I make it up? And it's like, it's either there or it's not. And with that particular brand, there was so much about it. Like, for example, it was a fragrance range. So let's say there were 10 fragrances, and they all merchandised really well, because they were just the same packaging, but different colors. So it looked like a rainbow. And then there were affirmations associated with each scent. And it was all about gratitude and being present, and all of the things that you sort of smell yourself throughout the day. And then you're reminded of these positive affirmations. So there was so the one I fell in love with was called I Am Rich, but it was about abundance and being in gratitude for, what you have in your life. And the one that really like kicked it off for me was I Am Beautiful. And at the time, Christina Aguilera had a song called Beautiful, that amazing song.
Sure.
And so I thought, well, I have to just get it to her. I mean, of course she has to have it.
Of course.
And, this was so long ago that there weren't as many like celebrity, cosmetics lines and fragrances that you have to worry about. But I got it to her agent or her manager or somebody through my network, and then just started looking through the magazines and kind of reverse engineering editor contact information, trying every iteration I could think of. And when I got a response, it was like the best day ever, like jumping around like, oh my God, I did it. And then when I realized that there's actually resources out there for PR professionals, like databases of contacts.
Yes.
So easy. Like, then I was like, I can actually make a career out of this. This
Yes.
is something I can do on, at scale for a lot of brands, and let's see what this is all about. So
That's so great. And I love your philosophy about, niching down to like finding your niche. And then, so you started with beauty, and then how did you grow Generation PR?
yeah, so I've just always loved the beauty industry. So that
Mhm.
was a natural, and I still do. I'm so lucky after all this time, I'm still excited about that industry. And we
Yeah.
get really great brands that come to us, which is so awesome. But one of the very first paying client opportunities I had was for a baby and kids brand.
Mhm.
And they didn't have a big budget, and it was kind of passed along to me as something that was like a throwaway, like, I can't take this, they don't have the budget, but maybe there's something here for you. And I reached out to them and offered them below market. It was like my very first paying client opportunity. And I just said, give me 3 months, I will hustle. You'll start to see some momentum. You'll know how responsive and creative I am, and we'll, work together to make this happen. But I saw the brand and I had such a vision. Like, there's so much here. The
Mhm.
products are very high end. They were at all the top retailers. And this was back in the day when we could see celebrities wandering the streets with their
Yes.
children. Now, thankfully, I think it's a better approach to not
Yes.
stalk celebrities with
Mhm.
their kids.
Yeah.
But back then, we got into every single celebrity that had a baby.
Yeah.
And we would see all of the A-listers, like multiple images throughout the years, carrying this brand's products that we sent to them. And we helped this brand grow strategically for 11 years. And we expanded our services. And through the brand, there was so much visibility for what they were doing because of the celebrity affiliations. And then they got a new CEO and they rebranded and made it very elevated. And so people started to pay attention to them. And then people would see my name associated with press releases or my name on their website as the media contact. And we started to get inbound inquiries from baby and kids brands. And
Awesome.
we've worked with $1 billion brands in that space. I've had $1 billion brands in each of my niches. And it's just insane to me because you think, they can work with anyone. And pre-pandemic, I was like, oh, I'm at home and they're going to know that I'm sitting in my home office, but it didn't matter. Now, especially, it doesn't matter.
Sure.
But
Sure. Oh,
so,
that's amazing.
yeah, just leveraging those results that we got for a brand and showing other brands, look at, how we can support your client or your company and your launches because of the visibility that we've gotten this other brand and the contacts we have and our now after this point, the know-how in the space,
Yes,
just really
exactly.
knowing the players and knowing what's happening in each of our niches.
Absolutely. And I think that's great, knowing the context in that particular, space, like you said, and really being the experts there. And I wanted to ask you, at what point did you, think, okay, well, your agency obviously has been growing and continues to grow, but did you always have a passion for mentoring other PR professionals? At what point did that, start and make you want to launch the Profitable PR Pros?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, God, I love this side of my business so much. It's like totally
I
reinvigorated
can
my
see the
passion for
passion over the screen.
love so much. And it's funny because right up until the second we got on, I was like messaging some of the women in my program. And I mean, this woman got her father, he's a 99-year-old World War II veteran who wrote a children's book. This is total sidebar, but it's the
Yeah.
coolest thing. She's in my Pitch Lab program where we teach PR professionals really how to hone in and connect with the media and everything from A to Z on how to pitch to the media. And so she's helping her dad he wrote a children's book on like racial equality as it relates to this little mouse, and the mouse has all these like great lessons, and she's been pitching it out, and she ended up getting on Fox News that got picked up by some national, like even bigger platform, and she got a call today from Ellen.
No way. Oh my goodness.
And we were like, oh my God. So it's the coolest thing.
Incredible.
It's incredible. So, I mean, hopefully it actually hit her.
Wow.
Dad is the cutest man you've ever seen, 98, 99 years old. But she's learning these strategies in our program, and it's insane.
I mean, what a case study for you. That's huge.
I mean, and there's like so many like that. So it's crazy. Yes. So I started out, I'd say I remember my younger son who's 10, I had him like on a carrier. That's when this idea kind of came to me, where I thought, I know how to do all these things with PR, and I'm kind of self-taught. And imagine if I found something that could teach me back when I started, I would have had success a lot faster. And I actually developed a PR program called Press Success for brands and entrepreneurs to do it themselves. And the program was awesome. I poured every bit of my heart and soul into it, and it just didn't catch on like I had hoped it would. I mean, we threw, advertising behind it, all these things. And I was like passionate about teaching it, but connecting with that community, I had a hard time saying, well, you're an expert and I can help you, and you're a brand and I can help you. But they always say like listen or pay attention to what people are asking you, and then that clarity comes to you. I was getting probably once a month women from all over the world somehow were finding me. I don't even know how, either a podcast or, through advertising my program or whatever. And they were saying, Jen, I want to build a business like yours, and you're a mom and you're running this company, and that's interesting to me, and I would love to learn how you did it. And so at one point I was mentoring 5 women in 5 countries for free. And I was like, this is so cool, right? Yes. This is awesome. And then it clicked, and I realized they're all asking the same questions. And I'm telling them step by step how I was able to start my business, how I find clients, how we onboard them, every little aspect of my business. And I was so happy to share that. And I realized that in our industry, and you guys aren't like this, I'm not like this, but people are so close to the vest. It's like, these are my secrets, this is my special sauce. And if somehow I give you any insight into how maybe your job could be easier or better or make money faster, somehow I'm going to lose my edge. And I don't think like that. I just think there's so much opportunity to go around. Let's all help each other out. And so once I realized this is what people wanted to know from me, I created a very small cohort, almost like a mastermind, just to test the concept. And I co-created a program with them that's now the Agency Accelerator. And this was about 5 years ago. So it has since grown from there. And we've had hundreds of people all over the world go through it. And we're now completely re-recording the program, because what I realized after teaching it so many times and for so long, there's like a really clear framework for how this all fits together. And I call it the path to profitability. It doesn't even matter what it's called, but it's very simple. It's like 4 pillars. It's strategy, sales, service, and scale. And there's 3 elements to each pillar. And it follows this flow no matter where you are in your business, whether you're just starting out. We have people who've been running agencies for 30 years and they want to get buttoned up. They want to elevate to the next level and bring in bigger clients. This process has worked for me the entire time when I was just starting out, and when we bumped up to 5-figure monthly retainers, and when we brought in $1 billion clients. It's this flow. And once that clicked in my mind, it was like, this is so easy to communicate. And now we can give everybody all the steps and stages. If there's a template or a resource or anything we can share, and then explain where it fits into the strategy and why you need this. And it's all about being really clear. This is where the niching down is so important, that I know, we've talked about that before. That's the strategy, understanding how much you have to charge if you're going to build out a team. What's your profit? How do you, figure out your numbers? And then getting into sales, you have to fill your pipeline with the right types of clients. You have to be clear on who you serve, how you serve them, and what do you put in a proposal? How do you get on the phone and confidently represent the kinds of results you're going to get? Last week's lesson was about red flags, and people were like, because they're going, oh my God, I've made every one of these mistakes and I've lived to tell about it. And then you kind of, once you get the right clients in the door, then it's all about serving them, because my goal for everyone is consistent, predictable, recurring retainer revenue. And that means if you lose a client, you don't lose your business. You don't flip out, because you still have a solid foundation and you can go back to your strategies to, bring new clients into your pipeline. So then we teach how to serve them. What does a, onboarding process look like? What does your first month look like? How do you run calls? How do you make them feel so well taken care of that they will never leave you? Like, you are going to just take care of them and make them feel like the smartest client ever because they chose you. And then we get into scale, and that's all about leveraging the results that you've gotten for your clients to attract bigger clients, higher retainers, building out a team. And ultimately, my goal is getting our members out of the day-to-day execution in their businesses so they can work on the business, and bringing in a team that they can leverage their time and, scale in a way where they're running a business that they really love, doing the things that are their zone of genius, and running a business that doesn't run them.
Yes.
And then through all of this, then we realized our members needed to hone their skills. So at the beginning of the pandemic, our members were like, we're getting laid off. We need to be able to add a service, something that we can do on our own. And so we started the Pitch Lab, which is a monthly membership around teaching how to do PR. Okay. And that has just been incredible, because it's opened up the opportunity for a lot more people to come in, because it's a lot more cost effective of a program, but it's also something people can add on. Like, if they are doing something else, retainer PR revenue is really nice to have in your business. So it's like, here's how you can do that. And so then we started our Facebook community and the podcast just to kind of bring people in, and we've since won like an Inc. Best in Business award.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Which is so cool.
That is awesome.
That didn't even exist at all like 2 years ago. And now it's like,
that's amazing. No, I love it, because you have something for everyone. And I also, love your approach. And I think so many people, need, I don't know how to say educate, but don't understand PR too. And it's, they need to understand, because sometimes people will say, oh, can I just pay you for a press hit? And I'm like, well, that takes hours, and it's a full-time, job to do it right. And I think, what you're doing is brilliant for small businesses who might not have the retainer, but yet they have people who might be able to, to learn and do some basic local pitching and PR things, because I think that's frustrating for some of those smaller businesses. It's like they have so many things that they need to invest in, marketing and PR for some reason always, I don't say falls to the back burner, but they don't realize how much they need it. And it's feel like we're always, educating, like it's a necessity. So.
Yeah, but most of the people in our community are the PR professionals looking to really become as profitable as possible, and to find to do what you guys have done, to really figure out how to take your background, what experience you have, translate that to your own specialty that nobody can do like you do because of all of the aspects of your experience, and to bring in the right kinds of clients that you love, that you'll be so excited about and love it long term, and then understanding how to charge for their services. So with the membership, the Pitch Lab, where we teach how to do PR, it's usually PR pros even looking to hone their skills. And I say, bring in your team, like let them all go through it. So you don't have to train them. It's like a time saver.
Yep.
So
That's awesome. That's so great. And so I was going to say, how do you find, is it mostly word of mouth or online marketing where you find the clients of PR pros to sign up different?
Yeah. At this point, there's a lot of word of mouth, which is so great because we're attracting the kind of people into our community who are wanting to share and they're open and helpful. And it's like not even just me that's out there like, hey guys, this is what's working. Everybody is weighing in and it's like the coolest thing. But it took a really long time to build momentum for our audience because with Facebook advertising, it's really hard to target people by profession. In fact, you can't. So you have to go after like affinity interest groups, things like that. You can't advertise to other people's groups or even use that group as like a target for advertising. So it's been interesting trying to find this audience. It's been very expensive. But I've been working on it so long, and I'd say the podcast is now bringing in a lot of people because what I share is like how to overcome a problem that actually our community is asking about.
Sure.
So,
It's real-time, hands-on.
Yeah. Like they'll say, oh, I'm struggling with this. And we'll say, that's a podcast episode.
Yes.
So they're finding us through that. And I do, it's been consistency. So in my Facebook group, I do a weekly Facebook Live. We take the topics from the community and I, chat with them and engage with them. And then that piece of content, we repurpose it and use it everywhere. But it's taken so long where I'm finally starting to see some momentum of like not me having to pull every single person in. I'll tell my husband, somebody bought my program and I don't even know who they are, like
so
on the internet. And I know I mentioned before we went live that I have something like really interesting and exciting that I can't fully share yet, but and I know I don't mean to be like coy and everybody's always like,
no,
for you, but not for anyone else. But I'm in the middle of an acquisition that I think bringing in this other side into my business. So it's my business is acquiring. I believe will really actually help with that. The question you asked about how am I finding people? How are they finding me?
Sure.
It's going to really help kind of round out more of the front end of like giving information and connecting with a certain person at a certain point in their career, where then they'll see that all of these programs will get them results faster, get them maybe even jobs faster, get them to maybe pivot from a freelancer to running an agency. So
got it.
Yesterday on my birthday, I got my letter of intent signed.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Ironing out the purchase agreement and
I'll be huge. And as the lawyer, I was going to say, as a lawyer, I always said I should have gone to law school because
no.
You need that in so many different, aspects. So that's exciting for the next phase. And do you see like now, with more in-person events coming out, do you see more development on, the in-person scale going, out doing all sorts of events or any passions now that, things have gotten to a better place for now?
Yeah, well, I had an in-person event planned for early April 2020.
Oh, no.
And I'm still licking my wounds because the company that I used to book the event, it was an event space, national, like multiple locations, and they're really finding every possible way to hold on to deposits. And I was able to get half back, but there's still a significant deposit, which I would say, okay, let's move forward and actually do the event. But they closed all their LA locations. And I feel like I shouldn't have to travel to my own event, and it would be a fortune. So I'm kind of dipping my toe back into the water there. But I think with this acquisition, the goal is it's bigger, it's bigger than me now. It's more like, I've brought in a lot of people to teach inside the program, and I think there's going to be more scale and more opportunities to support other industries as well. Like I'd say anyone who has a creative service as an independent creative and independent, like a freelancer or a small agency, we can teach them how to hone their skills and then teach them how to become more profitable in their business and find their dream clients. So
Sure.
the goal, I think, over time is building out this overall concept that's bigger than profitable PR pros. It's more, broad. It's like nobody teaches you this stuff. Like when I went to law school, they don't teach you how to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
They teach you how to pass the bar exam.
Mm.
They teach you how to think with both sides of your brain. Like you get the same set of facts and there's the same set of precedent that's law that's already established. And both sides have to make an argument for how to convince someone to see their reasoning is right.
Sure.
And that is relevant when it comes to taking an exam. And when I went to college, I didn't learn how to do anything that would make me money. I didn't learn a single practical skill because I went to, like I said, a research university. So why? And my husband went to business school and he's like, I'm learning more from, what you're doing in your business than I learned in my marketing class and my classes that
crazy. I know.
Yeah. So it's like, let me tell you exactly, like step by step, how you run a business. And my way is not the only way. And the cool thing is we have people in our program that are like, you know what? I had this situation come up and I sent my client this letter and here's the copy and it went over really well. And I'd love to give it to this community so they have it. So we've built this robust thing where it's like anything that comes up in your business, there's going to be some solution that has worked for other business owners. And if there isn't, we'll make it. And if not, go to the group and ask, and someone will, help you out. So that's my goal is practical information that will give people, their own path so they can, take control, especially women. This is the other piece. So important. It's like, I know that what we can teach people how to do is a model for if they want to have it all, like you do as a mom and running a successful business, or, what I have with my 2 boys, and my son's on the spectrum and it's like full on. I mean, it's like a whole thing because it's, nonstop advocacy for him. And if you want to have a career and make great money and be in charge of your time, to me, that's my definition of success is I choose who I want to work with. I get to be in control of my time. This works. And so the more people that I can teach, the more impact I can have. Like I have a woman, this is like the other coolest thing. She is running her agency from a yacht off the coast of wherever. Every time she calls in, I'm like, Erin, where are you today? She's like, Mallorca. She pulled her 3 boys out of school in Australia.
Yes.
She learned how to do PR in our program and then how to run her agency through the agency.
Incredible.
Running her business, supporting her whole family while they travel the world. Forbes just wrote an article about her last week. It's the coolest thing ever. So,
amazing.
Like, to have that kind of connection, it's like
absolutely.
I'll keep going until someone tells me to stop because
that is wonderful. There was nothing like that back in the day.
No.
This is so good. So good to know. And, for the PR industry, where are you seeing the trends? There have been so many changes over the years and it's just hard to keep up from the group. Are you seeing certain specific challenges or trends that, brands should be aware of, or PR?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, media is not dying. Media is changing and it's a game. I always say it's like a game. And if you know the rules, you can play it.
Yeah.
So we try to keep up, and that's a huge part of why we, do what we do. It's so that we can help other people really. I think if you're on top of the trends, you have a viable business long-term. I don't want someone to be a
Yes.
dinosaur and sort of be like, oh, digital, I didn't see digital coming. What do we do? It's like, this is what's happening. Get ahead of it.
Yes.
The big one is for brands. Affiliate marketing is absolutely, without a doubt, the number one thing they have to be a part of, have a way to pay not just influencers, but even mainstream, like magazine, not mainstream, that sounds like mainstream media.
Yes. Yeah.
Traditional publications that maybe have a digital outlet, like a print magazine with an online component, which they all have now. They have to have a way of generating revenue through affiliate links. And we can now no longer take on a client that doesn't have some way that they're able to pay affiliate. The biggest one being Amazon. It's the easiest because if they're selling on Amazon, these publishers know how to just link out. It's easy as can be. But if they want to have revenue through their website, then Share a Sale and other platforms like that, where they can activate skim links and drive, some meaningful revenue for these outlets that are getting creative with how they're generating revenue for their properties. Sure. Another way that's happening is actually they're going after their intellectual property when it comes to their logos and stuff. And this used to never happen, or they're like online assets that are being repurposed elsewhere. So be careful. This is a big thing we're seeing now. They're coming after for logo like use infringement. But that's a huge one. And it all goes back to the basics. And I'm sure you're seeing this in what you're doing for clients. It's like, it has to be a strategic, targeted, relevant, specific pitch. There's no spray and pray. It does not work. You have to send, right?
Yes.
You're laughing at me over there.
No, I love that. It's like, I feel like that PR term we always use.
Yeah, spray and pray. It's like,
I love it.
So my podcast is called Pitching Powerhouse. That's what we're trying to turn everyone into, pitching powerhouses. It's like, if you understand how to position something for the media, you're talking to a specific person. Totally. And they write about a specific topic at a specific publication.
Yep.
What do you have to offer them that's of value to their readers?
Absolutely.
And that has not changed. None of that's changed. And so if you can hone those skills, maybe things take a little longer to convert, or maybe I'd say working with freelancers is probably more prevalent now than it used to be. You used to work directly with editors in-house of publications. We get a ton of features through freelancers, and they'll write for 5 outlets and you're featured in 5 places. It's great. Like, what's not to love? But I'd say that number one piece, especially for brands with physical products, is affiliate opportunities that align then with their pitches.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. And people who are looking to get into PR from the get-go after, maybe they want to study it in college or afterwards, what advice would you give if you were to go back and do it again?
Well, if I were to go back and do it again, I wouldn't change anything.
Yes.
I think my path was so lucky, and I learned so much along the way. But honestly, like, I'm not to be like, oh my God, my stuff. But this is like, there is a whole panel of people that contribute to our content. And the goal is to make, pitching powerhouses, but PR pros make their lives easier. And at the foundation in the Pitch Lab is it's the press success program that I created for brands and experts. We took the same framework and completely retooled it for PR professionals. So it's a inexpensive monthly fee, and you get access to this entire program that we used to charge thousands of dollars for. Just, now it's like, if you're in our program for like 2 months, you get access to the whole thing.
That's amazing.
It's great training. And we also have this community, Profitable PR Pros, and people are looking for freelancers. They're looking for interns. I'd say, figure out your niche, what you love, and find ways to tap your network for opportunities, and be really passionate about what you're interested in accomplishing, what you're looking to learn, and how that specific person can help you. Because I've realized throughout the years that everybody wants to be helpful and they want to make introductions. They just don't want it to be hard for them.
Sure.
They want to have you write it and just say, connect me with this person and send this email,
Yes.
make it easy and tell them exactly how they can help you.
Sure.
So if you want experience, offer to work for free for a limited period of time, or offer to work below market just to gain experience and figure out what you like and what you don't. And also be intentional. Like, I really look at everything that I did in my career as stepping stones.
Yeah.
And when you take opportunities out of guilt or obligation, like, oh, my best friend's cousin, their neighbor just, started an Etsy shop selling candles. Can you promote their business? If you want to work in tech, candles are not your jam. So don't go down that path, because you're creating results and contacts and experience around candles and Etsy vendors, and that's not what you want to do. So start to think of the next steps and your stepping stones on your path to what your ultimate vision is, and realize that there's somebody that would happily give you an opportunity if you're willing to work really hard, work for free, work below market, and be grateful for all those opportunities, and show up on time and do what you say you're going to do. I don't know why that's so hard, but it is a thing that's hard for people. I don't know why, but very simple.
That's fantastic advice. Absolutely, Jen. I mean, there's so many good nuggets, and I feel like you're helping so many people, and also like all over the world, right? I mean, it's incredible how many lives you're touching, and it's just so awesome to hear. And of course, the Brand Groupies podcast, we ask, if your business was a song, what song would it be? Profitable PR Pros or Generation PR?
I don't know why Good Vibrations just popped into my head. I'm not the Marky Mark version, but like, is it the Beach Boys version? I don't know.
Beach Boys, I think. And you're right, California. You have
California.
That vibe.
So either Good Vibrations, I guess, because it's like, I just feel like there's just putting out good energy. And also
great energy.
Bill Withers, Lovely Day. I just wake up every day and I'm like, I get to work in this office space with this great energy. My office was designed by HGTV. It's like, oh my gosh, awesome. I love it.
Amazing.
It's
so cool.
Super cool. And I just feel like every day is a level. Like, I just feel so happy, especially with the context of another career that was like, oh, what am I doing? Like, how did I get here? I'm in the wrong life. This is not my life.
Oh, I just love how you pivoted, and really it's such an amazing story, and you're really inspiring to so many PR people out there, and I feel like we need to all sign up. Tell us about your links and your ways that people can find you.
Yeah, like come connect on Instagram or any social. I'm at Generation PR. I'm not on TikTok yet. Are you guys on TikTok?
We tapped, we dipped our toes in.
Dipped your toe in the water.
Yes.
Same. I'm working on it.
My son's Lego TikTok.
My son had a TikTok around cryptocurrency.
Oh, amazing. I know.
At the time, I think he was like 7. We're like, what?
You're like, what? I know.
But, and so at Generation PR, and then my website for my agency is at Generation PR. And then everywhere else, our Facebook group is Profitable PR Pros, and the website is profitableprpros.com. It redirects somewhere else since we've the name a couple times, but that is like a whole hub. There's tons of free resources. There is a quiz where you can figure out where you are in your career, so you can jump in and get into the right path. So it's a little overwhelming. Like, there's so much there, but there is something for everyone. And I intentionally built it that way, because I was like, I can't create something that's so kind of basic that people like me wouldn't find value, us that have been doing it for so long. And I can't create something that's so like aimed towards mastery that people can't get a start. So it's like really,
for everyone.
yeah.
Which is
Yes.
fantastic. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, we're so happy to have you as a guest, and thank you for sharing so much great information. And we look forward to launching the official episode. And so great
Thank
to
you
see you
so
again
much.
on the West.
I know. You guys are the best. I thank you for being on my show.
Oh my gosh.
People
Thank you for
loved
having
it.
us. And Lauren and I were on your pitching powerhouse, which it was so much fun. And we just like totally hit it off from the get-go. So
yeah, you guys are
thanks
awesome. Thank
again.
you for
All right.
having me on. This was awesome.
So fun. Thanks again, Jen.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, are we on? Are we off Facebook? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I was going to talk to her, but are we off Facebook yet? Oh, no? I didn't want to say anything online.